And finally, a number 9 from Basement Jaxx. This is a track that has freaked me out in various ways over the years. Mm-hmm. It's called Where's Your Head At?
This is the third single from the second album, Rooty. Liam, say the name of the album.
Rooty?
Don't get me wrong, I can't say it either.
Rooty.
But pretty much, yeah, it's a song about anxiety and losing control. That's why it's called Where's Your Head At?
Yeah.
How on earth does this only get to number 9? If somebody had asked me where this got to, I would have said this was a number 1, and I would have fought and said, clear as day, number one for ages. And a number 9.
Yeah.
This makes no sense to me, really. Let's have a listen to the sample. Gary Numan's M.E. from 1979.
Oh, that really freaks me out because it's the same but slower. I feel really disoriented by it. I feel really out of place with it. It's
Do you feel this is the PPK Resurrection thing as well? The samples from the 70s and 80s are creepy, and the sample of this was creepier, and it's more interesting because it's Gary Numan, so it feels much closer to home.
Yeah.
So it feels like he's actively doing something to scare you, whereas with Russian psytrance, you're thinking that's just sounds and production that they were accustomed to, and that came and grew from somewhere, traditional and cultured, whereas Gary Numan's actively trying to freak the hell out of you here at this point.
Yeah.
But yeah, this I had to stop watching the video to it when I was listening to it, because I was like, I'm not listening to it. Like, I know it.
Yeah.
I know the whole thing from beginning to end. I can hear every sound effect in my head. But the video just pulled me in so much, I had to stop looking at the video, listen to it again, and just go through the production and all of that kind of crack. Where's Your Head At? Great vocally, screams, loved it. I love all parts of this production. I love the lower rumble of the synth and the Gary Numan bits.
Yeah.
There's weeing sirens. Woo! Love them.
Yeah.
The drop's great. I think this is brill.
It is brill. It really is brill. The reason that I know it so much from over the years is it was on an advert for CBBC back in the day. Like, this was the music for it, and it was kind of scary.
Yeah.
And then of course years later seeing the video, which is even scarier with the monkeys with human faces. That's fucking weird.
That is weird.
Anyway, we'll probably get to the video a bit more shortly, but because there's things to say on it. I read that the football chant chorusy bit, this comes from Song Facts. They say that the "Where's Your Head At" came
Don't
from
say the name. Oh, you said
Junior
the name.
Sanchez. Sorry, I'll tell you what. I'll bleep it out. I'll bleep out the name.
Okay.
It actually started as "Where Are My Dogs At?"
Yes.
Which is very strange. I can't imagine that at all. No. And it makes total sense that it became "Where's Your Head At?" because "Where Are My Dogs At?" just doesn't have the same hookiness.
Where Are My Dogs At? The latest single from Sophie Ellis Bextor. Where are my dogs at? Where are my dogs at? Where are my dogs at?
But because I've known the song over the years but didn't know that it was sampled, I never knew it was a sampled thing, but now that I know that it is, it's another one of those things where you have to appreciate the genius of the things being smushed together.
Yeah.
Like, the one's flawless, and those samples that became that track, like, when you listen back to the samples and compare them, the samples have been kept kind of intact. You know what I mean? Like, the songs are based on samples, which some would have issue with because some don't like sampling and they're kind of wrong, but that's fine. This is such a brilliant mix of samples. Like, there's even other bits of Gary Numan in there. There's one line that sounds like Talking Heads Once in a Lifetime, that you have now found yourself. Like, that's clearly a Talking Heads reference. This is a really great example of how you can smush bits together to make like a transformative bit of work that's like totally amazing, with their own bits chucked in too for good measure. This is how I like my electronic music. This is how I like it the best, when it's grungy, when it's pacey, when it's got a really good sample, when it's kind of distorted like it is and compressed like it is. I want a track to make me screw my face up. I want to feel like, oh, when it drops, I want to feel that kind of like, oh, that's filth. And this has that for me. It's such a busy mix, but it never feels too crowded. Nothing's out of place. Not a single bit's out of place. It's just like, I'll use the word again. I'll probably use it too sparingly, but it's perfect as a dance track.
I love it. I think it's perfectly hectic. It's the most well managed hectic track that I think we've experienced in a while.
Yeah, totally.
The video of it again is exceptional, and actually Mixmag said it's one of the best music videos to ever have existed. What you do is you get a taxi pulls into what seems to be like an Eastern European kind of alleyway, which is the outside of a hospital that the guy in the video refers to as the armpit of nowhere. He's a record exec going in to see the next best thing in music, according to someone, but he walks into this kind of hospital and sees people on gurneys being wheeled about and all of that kind of crack. Then all of a sudden he meets what I would class as probably the creepiest looking doctor, and I remember being creeped out by this when I was younger, and this is really judgmental. But he was obviously put in that video on purpose to get that reaction out of me. Yeah. But the creepiest doctor, including like a semi-creepy assistant who's just actually normal looking, but the environment makes her creepier for some strange reason. He gets shown a a dummy of a monkey singing and playing a guitar, and then gets walked down this like little private, what you would kind of say is maybe a protected corridor that you would like maybe see in something like E.T., you know, the tube at the back of the van at E.T. He goes down a protected corridor to like a safe space where he sits in a chair looking into this hospital room where monkeys come in and start performing the song, but these monkeys have human faces on them.
I reckon we should stop there. I reckon that's enough. People should go watch it for themselves.
Do you think?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, right, okay.
I think it's one of those videos that we could explain it and describe it, but I think people need to go and see it.
Right, okay. Yeah, we'll do that.
And like experience it for the first time like we have, because it's totally like gripping and amazing. And I guess monkeys playing instruments, it's totally a comment on the industry, and it's totally a comment on how things are going at the moment.
I think it was supposed to be a jab at dance music from some of the things that I've read, which would make sense because what you find, like in this era, we're coming from Tiesto doing trance, and now Tiesto's topping charts. We're in an era where actually there's never been more drama about ghost producers producing songs. You know, it's I don't think it's any surprise when people look at the legal details on MK tracks and figure out that it's Camel Fat who's produced them, who's actually Ultra Beat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there is this whole movement of that. But yeah, that's an action. The one action we're giving you this week is go and Google Basement Jaxx. Where's your head at? Watch the video and focus on it. Give yourself like a good 5 minutes to really feel it. It is creepy.
Yeah, we will ask you again next week for your feedback and for your homework. we will action that. It's another question song. I'll ask you the question again. Scott, where's your head at? How are you doing? I probably don't ask you enough. Just generally, like, how are you doing? How are you feeling at the moment?
Bloody tired, I'll tell you something.
Me too.
Yeah, I need some one-to-one time for myself somehow. I need to do a bit of exercise and I need to chill my beans, I think, really. But generally, in the grand scale of people, I'm very good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm all right, really. To be fair, I haven't felt like really down for a good few months now. Oh. And I know lockdown is shit, but I'm really enjoying my work at the moment. I'm getting to do things I haven't done before at work. Things feel good. Loving doing the podcast, loving music right now, loving being with family.
That's really nice.
Things are okay. Yeah, but I know it's all very finely poised. It could change very quickly.
I was having a meeting with somebody the other day and I had to talk about work, and it's like, I don't even know what I'm good at anymore. Just because whenever you're so busy you don't notice the small things that you achieve sometimes.
Yeah.
And we had to finish that conversation pretty quickly, and we're going back to it on another day. But just as that happened, my phone vibrated and somebody had put out a really public nice tweet about me, and I wasn't prepared, and then somebody then commented agreeing, and then somebody else quote tweeted it agreeing, and I was like, oh, I never really thought that I needed that today, but I've never realised how much I could have really needed something in a given day, and I was really like pleased with that. So
that's nice.
It never happens to me, but it was really, really sweet. So thank you to Lee Hawthorne for that. I love him.
I saw that. It was lovely. Yeah, thank you, Lee, because that brightened me up too. Because I think Scott is the person in my mind who deserves recognition the most out of anybody in the world, like just for what you do.
Aww.
Just for the impact you have on other people. This is now entering like territory of like people are eavesdropping in our like heart to heart, but like no, the impact you've had on people's lives over the years. I mean, I've known you like coming up 10 years now.
Wow.
And I've seen it, and yeah, like if you're in a room where you're normally and you're not there, people genuinely like are sad that you're not there. I think that's a really special effect to have. Is that
that's really sweet.
You're so helpful to people, but also you just brighten people's day.
Oh,
you do.
That's nice, because usually you think
I love you. Will you marry me, Scott?
I love you. Yeah, you're my work husband. All right, we'll be work husbands.
I'll take that. That's fine. Yeah, cool.